Hi, I'm Faye.
And I'm Chloe.
And this is On the Street. Let's find out our seniors' juiciest secrets.
Like their middle school crushes.
Who am I here with?
Connor.
And who is your middle school crush?
I think I'd have to say Faye.
Hi, what's your name?
Faye Muma.
And who is your middle school crush?
Matthew Peak.
Interesting.
Who am I here with?
Matthew Peak.
And who is your middle school crush?
You.
Hi, who am I here with?
Peter.
And who is your middle school or elementary school crush?
I had a crush on Kaylee Callahan in elementary school.
Am I here with?
Kaylee Callahan.
And who is your middle school crush?
Liam O'Neill.
Hi, who am I here with?
Trent.
And who is your elementary school crush?
I'm not gonna lie. It was Chloe.
Hi, who am I here with?
Olivia DuPay.
And who is your middle school crush?
I didn't go to middle school, but I went to McKinley for elementary school, and it was Jack Hanks.
Who am I here with?
Elijah.
And who is your middle school crush?
My middle school. Oh, that's a tough one. My middle school crush was Isabella Miller.
Hi, what are your guys' names?
Bella. Cassia.
And who is your middle school crush?
Jack Weber.
So I didn't go to middle school, but I did go to Washington Elementary, and in first grade I had a crush on Evan Wilkins.
Who am I here with?
Milo.
And who is your middle school crush?
Katie Katula.
Hi, who am I here with?
Davey Murray.
And who is your middle school crush?
Alma Hagopian Smith.
Hi, who am I here with?
Brandon Collins.
And who is your middle school crush?
Alanis Corsell.
Hi, what is your name?
Ava Schwantes.
And who is your middle school crush?
Jack Peterson. Who am I here with?
Ava.
And who is your middle school crush?
Jamon Edwards.
Who am I here with?
Adam Anopa.
And who is your middle school crush?
Faye Muma.
Who am I here with?
Elliot Wilkerson.
And who is your middle school crush?
In 6th grade, it was probably Madeline Sanchez.
Hi, what is your name?
Madeline Sanchez.
And who is your middle school crush?
Angelo Edwards.
Hi, who am I here with?
Mazaria.
Chris.
And who is your middle school crush?
Probably Brecker or Stefan, but let me tell you why, because we had math together and I liked them a lot.
Her name was Bianca.
Who am I here with?
Xavier Crum.
And who is your middle school crush?
Probably Faye Muma.
Hi, who am I here with?
Ben Wozniak.
And who is your middle school or elementary school crush?
My elementary school crush was Abby Tank.
Hi, who am I here with?
Jack Monagle.
And who is your middle school crush?
Faye Muma.
Who am I here with?
LJ.
Nora. And who is your guys' middle school crush?
Leon.
Ryan Bokenhauer.
What is your name?
Jake Hansen.
And who was your crush growing up?
My crush growing up was Margot Robbie after I watched The Wolf of Wall Street for the first time.
Hi, what is your name?
Braden Parker.
And who is your middle school crush?
Ariana.
Hi, who am I here with?
Jack Durbin.
And who is your middle school crush?
Amelia Van Engen.
Who am I here with?
Amelia Van Engen.
And who is your middle school crush?
Tavian Willis.
Who am I here with?
Nevaeh Hendrick.
And who is your middle school crush?
Tavian Willis.
Hi, who am I here with?
Neve Wick.
And who is your middle school crush?
Joseph Ruth.
Hi, what is your name?
Josh.
And who is your middle school crush?
My teacher.
Who am I here with?
Thomas Phillips.
And who was your middle school crush?
Caroline Henzig.